In the worldwide war against crime, there are men and women trained to sink their own identity in the international underworld. They work alone, in danger and in shadow, unrecognized by friend and enemy alike. They are the operators of the almost legendary Ghost Squad.
Plane leaves for London in 10 minutes and no interpreter. Olinka, go to the airport entrance and look for her.
I don't know her, Comrade Kobelik.
Do any of you know the interpreter, Ilse Virania? I shall complain to the interpreter's pool. To the ministry. The interpreter, Ilse Virani?
Yes, I am.
You're late. Late?
I'm sorry I was delayed.
I shall expect a report. The plane is waiting. Come.
An enterprising impresario brought the Basrai state dancers over the Berlin Wall, ostensibly to entertain London audiences. As a publicity man, my job, ostensibly, would be to promote Basrai culture and goodwill. The goodwill would be obvious. The culture? Well, that depends on which side of the Berlin Wall you happen to be. I knew which side I was on.
You are Miller.
Tony Miller, that's right.
I am Georgi Baer, public relations officer at the embassy.
How do you do? We're working together, I believe.
You flatter me, Mr. Miller. I am merely here to serve you as best I can in matters which directly concern the embassy.
I wish we'd met several days ago.
Why?
Well, the dancer's arrival at London Airport could have been better timed.
The ambassador did not want the press talking to the girls at the airport.
At 1:30 in the morning, he got his wish.
Well, the girls were tired. They'd had a long journey.
All right, now they've had a night's sleep. Where are they?
They are changing. They have been at the embassy. The ambassador was welcoming them to England.
I wish I'd known that.
Why?
Well, if you want publicity.
It was purely a personal meeting of no value to the press.
Mr. Fair, if you want me to do my job properly, you must let me be the judge of what is and what is not of value to the press, please.
But of course, Miller, there will be no interference. The opposite, in fact. My position is to smooth the way for you in all matters which directly concern...
The embassy, yes, I know.
So, now we understand each other. Tell me, what plans for publicity have you made?
Well, Press reception here at 3 o'clock this afternoon.
Good, good.
Some television interviews for the girls, a couple per show.
4. 4 is the minimum number for any engagement.
But there may not be enough time to talk to more than...
4 plus our interpreter.
If you say so.
What else have you arranged?
A woman's page feature on one of the girls. You know, their home, education, their thoughts on career, marriage, children, fashions, that sort of thing.
This is not possible, Miller. The Basra State dancers are a group, as one, without stars. It would not be logical to single out one dancer for special attention.
But she could be representative of them all.
No.
We can scrap that idea, too.
Let the paper write about all 12.
Not too many. I doubt if the paper would be interested.
At the press reception this afternoon, all questions will be channeled through the official interpreter.
Oh, can't the girls who speak English answer for themselves?
No.
I thought not.
This would be discriminating against those who do not speak the language.
And all these publicity ideas directly affect the embassy?
Of course.
It has a wide range of interests, hasn't it?
They are here. Come and meet them.
Thank you. Oh, that was individualistic anyway.
Mr. Miller, I would like you to meet Ilse Varani. Comrade Varani is the official interpreter with the group.
Hello, Miss Varani. It is Miss Varani.
Comrade Varani, Mr. Miller.
Mr. Miller is in charge of all publicity.
We shall do everything we can to be cooperative.
I'm sure you will. But it's going to be an awful lot of work for you.
I'm here to work, Mr. Miller. And now, if you'll excuse me.
Oh, Comrade Varani.
Yes, Mr. Miller?
You speak very good English.
That is why I am the interpreter.
So this is our publicist.
Comrade Kobelik, this is Mr. Miller. As you say, Comrade, he is in charge of publicity. Comrade Kobelik is the traveling manager of the Basra State Dancers.
I am happy to know you, sir.
The pleasure is mine, Mr.
I'm
Miller.
sure your visit to London will be an unqualified success.
We hope so.
Who are they?
Bodyguards from the embassy for our very attractive dancers.
And who protects the girls from them?
I'll tell that to the ambassador. He will enjoy it. Excuse me.
Oh, by the way, I'd like the girls in costume for the press do this afternoon.
Oh, certainly. Comrade Veran, anything you say.
Yes, Comrade?
The girls know about the reception this afternoon.
Yes, I've told them about it. Also who you are, Mr. Miller. They were curious to know.
Tell them I'm flattered.
The dancers should wear their costumes this afternoon.
I will tell them.
Do you have a national costume, too?
Interpreters should be heard, Mr. Miller, not seen.
How many of the girls speak English?
One only, Mr. Miller. Comrade Varani.
That's right. I'm the only one.
Then you're going to have your work cut out for you this afternoon.
Oh, this phrase, Mr. Miller, I don't understand it.
By 3:05, you will. Well, I must be off. There's the question of the feature for the woman's page to resolve, not to mention some television interviews.
Yes.
I'll see you later.
You will be here before 3.
Yes, of course. Have a good rehearsal.
Thank you.
Whoops. Well, all right. You'll be all right now. They're rehearsing now, sir.
What are they like?
Almost as lovely as you, Porridge, but they don't keep such nice company.
They're all conceited.
Who's with them?
The PR type from the embassy, named Fair.
Yeah, he's a recent arrival. We haven't got anything on him yet, have we?
No, Mr. Stark.
Well, then start a file. He's a nasty piece of work. Proof? Hunch, just now, sir.
Who else is there?
The group's manager, name of Kobelik.
Comrade Kobelik. We know about him.
What's the word?
Dangerous.
I'll bear it in mind.
Anybody else?
4 large goons, bodyguards, and the interpreter.
What about him?
Her. Ilse Varani. She seems quite nice.
They always do.
How did our publicity ideas go down?
In flames, thanks to Fair. The dancers are obviously under strict internal security.
Good. The closer they are together, the easier they'll be to watch. Carter, have you got the invitations Miller brought in yesterday?
The ones from the impresario's office,
Yeah.
yes, sir.
Now, let's have them, will you?
Right, sir.
And while you're about it, you might bring the Radi file.
Right, sir.
We've had a look at these invitations. There are a few the Basra Embassy may let the dancers attend.
Well, I'll keep you posted, sir.
Please do.
Thank you.
Thank you. You met Radiv?
No, sir.
He's a friend of mine.
Yes, I know, sir.
Done your homework?
Laszlo Radiv, widower, age 50, ex-Colonel Basrai Army, led the abortive 1953 uprising, fled the country, came here and was granted political asylum.
And there's nothing the Basrai government would like more than to whisk him back home to stand trial.
Some hope.
Luring him into the embassy is the only difficult part.
Well, have they any bait? A family?
No, his wife and small daughter disappeared after the uprising collapsed.
They were being smuggled out, but they never made it. Eventually, his wife was found. She'd been shot.
And the little girl?
Nicola? Nothing was ever heard of her.
Oh, how awful.
And even after 10 years, the regime still wants him.
And I think they'll try to get him this week.
I assume you're in touch with him, sir?
Yes, I wanted him to stay away for the week, but he wouldn't. However, he's promised to let us know if any overtures are made.
Well, I'll stay with it my end.
Good. Anything else?
Yes, sir. This.
What's that?
One of the dancers slipped it into my hand when she stumbled against me.
Please help me. I want to stay here. It's a bit naive, isn't it?
I'm astonished they still try it.
Are you sure it is a fake, Tony?
Well, they're as curious about me as we are about them. It's a try-on to see what I'll do.
And what will you do?
For once, absolutely nothing. But, just in case, as a memento.
One more over here. That's fine. Hold it. Thank you, ladies.
Over here, girls.
Well, the girls get a chance to see London.
Of course, tours have been arranged.
Well, can they go out on their own?
Why should they want to? They might get lost. No, a conducted tour's a much better idea.
Excuse me. Could you ask those three to move over there so I can get a shot of them?
Those three, of course.
Thank you.
Natasha, Anya, Inga.
Oh, excuse me. Do you speak English? Oh, never mind.
Please, Mr. Miller.
Yes, young lady?
Is that what you want?
Exactly. Thank you.
Excuse me then, please.
I can't.
But I want to stay here. I don't want to go back home.
Well, think of your family, how it had hurt them.
I have no one. Please help me to escape.
Escape? Why, this is England. All we've got to do is walk out of that door.
All of us, we are watched all the time. There is no chance on our own. Someone must help.
I'm afraid you've picked the wrong man, Linka. I'm just the publicist here.
No, please, you are a friend. Please help me to escape.
Linka? Andret? I must apologize for her conduct, Mr. Miller.
There's no need for that.
It was very foolish of her.
She's young.
May I thank you for not becoming involved?
I'm interested in the dancers' publicity, not their politics.
That's wise.
Will she be sent home?
Why do you ask?
Well, I was thinking about the publicity. If the press know how many dancers there are already and you open with one short, well, there may be awkward questions.
She will dance. I will see to it.
Yes, I thought that might be within your powers. Comrade?
Ladies and gentlemen of the press, thank you for coming here this afternoon. We hope we have given you everything that you want. But if we are to please the critics tonight, well, we must work. Excuse me, and thank you for coming again.
You got one of these?
What's that?
Biographical material on the dancers.
They're girls, and they dance. What else is there to know?
How to spell their names.
But this is idiocy, complete idiocy. Do you want to get the whole company into trouble? Oh, now, Linka, you are a little fool, huh?
Comrade Varani, I shall expect a detailed report.
Of course, comrade.
Oh, I'm sorry to interrupt. I'll come back later.
Stay, it was not important.
You may go.
Yes, Comrade Kovaly.
Well, Miller?
Some invitations for the dancers. They were sent to the business office.
Ah, yes, thank you. The Honorable Mrs. Marquand Foster cordially invites the members of the Basra State Dancers Company to attend the reception to be held on Saturday next. They are all like this?
I imagine so.
How generous people are.
Yes.
We shall accept as many as we can, of course.
Yes, well, don't forget to let me know, and I'll arrange some press coverage.
All right, thank you.
The reception went well, Miller.
Comrade Varane is the one to thank for that.
Yes, she was excellent.
I certainly have no complaints to make.
I'm delighted to hear you say that.
Well, if you'll excuse me, I must get back to work.
Yes. You will be here for the performance.
Yes, certainly.
is not interested to help her?
That's what he said, comrade.
Nevertheless, she must be watched constantly.
Yes, indeed. Comrade Varani, I shall hold you personally responsible for her future conduct.
Of course, comrade.
It may not be too great a task. You may only have seen what you were supposed to have seen.
What do you mean?
She may be from the Internal Security Police, checking on us.
As if we hadn't enough to do with Rajiv.
Rajiv? Laszlo Rajiv?
Yes. We are to persuade him to return home with us. You are to help.
How?
You will speak to him on the telephone.
Now, these cards have various messages for him, but you will say only what is written.
May I see one?
Of course. This is tonight's.
But there is only one word on this card. Ika. Ika, what does that mean?
You do not have to know its meaning to say it. These are trinkets, also for Rajiv.
These we will send to him through the post.
And at the end of the week, he will return home with us.
He will beg us to take him.
When am I to make this phone call?
During tonight's performance. You will be our star 10, comrade. It is time. Which key is it?
This one is for the desk, and this is the box.
Good. Comrade. Ah, Miller. What do you think of our national dances?
They are fabulous, comrade.
Good, good. The telephone number is at the top of the card.
Yes.
Say that word for me again.
Ika.
Yes. Better repeat it once, but say nothing more than that.
I received an invitation to the party, the embassy, after tonight's opening performance.
Did you reply?
Of course not. I did nothing. Cheers.
Cheers. I think it's just as well to ignore them.
Excuse me, Jeffrey. Hello. Hello, Laszlo Rajiv. Hello.
Ika. Ika.
Hello.
What was all that about?
There was a woman at the other end. She said Ika, repeated it, and hung up.
Ika? Is that a Basray word?
No, but when my daughter was very small and learning to talk, Ika was her version of her name, Nicola. The whole family call her that.
During the next 3 days, Radif received these 4 objects. He also received several telephone calls, 4 of which we recorded. The voice on the other end of the line belonged to Comrade Virani.
We thought you'd like to have the small carved bear. It was Ika's favorite. You remember buying it, of course. That third Sunday in August 1950, when you had the picnic by the lake. You called the bear the General, because it reminded you of the army commander. At least that's what you said at the time.
Her name's Virani, interpreter with the dancers.
I've never heard of her.
Is what she said true?
Yes, it is true. But how did she find out? Who told her these things?
Information like that isn't hard to come by.
And those things, how did they get hold of them? My house was destroyed after the uprising.
Well, the pendant was probably salvaged from the ruins. I imagine the rest are fakes.
No, you're wrong. They did belong to Nicola.
After 10 years, you can positively identify these things. Why, it's practically impossible.
You're being given the association of ideas treatment, just enough of the truth to make you accept the big lie that's coming.
And what is this lie to be?
That Nicola is alive.
It could be the truth.
Because you want it to be true. And they're counting on that reaction as well.
What do you mean?
You will receive a telephone call to say that Nicola is in fact alive. And then another one to set up a meeting so that you can be put in touch with her. If you go to that meeting, there is nothing we can do to help you.
If there were a chance of my seeing her again, I don't think I'd mind.
You'd be throwing away your life.
Perhaps I did that 10 years ago, Difflin.
Sir, if Nicola were alive, you would have heard a long time before this.
You have such confidence in your judgment, haven't you?
Well, what do you want to do?
I want to go to the theater. I want to see their faces, if only to convince myself that you're right.
All right. Carter, book me a couple of seats for tonight's performance.
You're coming with me.
I'll take you. Call for you about 7.
I'm sorry to be such a nuisance.
None of this.
Goodbye, Mr. Miller.
Bye, Colonel.
Goodbye. See you at 7.
Yes.
2 things I want you to do for me tonight, Miller.
Yes, sir.
There is Spot Ruddy at the theatre, so if there's a hint of trouble brewing, let me know immediately and I'll get him out. Carter will tell you where we're sitting.
Right, well, I'll stay with it, mind, sir.
Are you certain about that woman's voice?
Yes.
All right.
Then I want proof that those calls and parcels are part of a scheme to trap Ruddy.
Well, I'll do my best to oblige.
Good. You need something tangible from us to counteract all this.
That is one of the dancers, Your Excellency.
And the other?
I do not know, but Radif will be curious about her.
Good. Now, which of the invitations have you accepted?
Ah, this one for Saturday. It is to be held between the matinee and the last performance.
Oh, Cobbly cannot like that.
He is furious. But I have explained to him that political necessity comes before artistic integrity.
Mrs. Marquand Foster, I've heard of her.
Yes, indeed, Excellency. She is exactly the kind of person we need.
Is this her telephone number?
Yes, Excellency.
I hope this works fair.
It will, sir.
It had better. The ministry attaches great importance to this operation. Hello.
The Marquand Foster residence?
May I speak to Mrs. Marquand Foster, please?
Who should I say is calling?
The Basra ambassador.
One moment, Your Excellency.
I'm not entirely sure that this is right.
Hello?
Oh, my dear Mrs. Marquand Foster, I just telephoned to say how very pleased I was to learn that your kind invitation was the one our dancers were able to accept.
Did you say the one invitation, Your Excellency?
Yes, there simply isn't time for them to accept any of the others, madame.
Well, I'm most honored. There must have been a lot of others they'd have liked to have accepted.
Well, 1 or 2 from old friends. Basra is living in London.
Let me have their names. I'd be delighted to ask them to the party.
Oh, no, Mrs. Marquand Foster. That would be imposing outrageously upon you.
No, Your Excellency, I insist. Now, what are their names?
Well, this is really very kind of you. Do you have a piece of paper and pencil?
Yes. Hold on a moment. Yes?
Well, the first is a very distinguished Basra living over here. His name is Radif, Colonel Laszlo Radif, R-A-D-I-V. His address, 16 Oxton Gardens, W2.
Oxton Gardens, and the name is Radif.
Don't you people ever tell anyone anything?
But the ambassador himself will be there. We must go as a group.
At a time when I've arranged a television interview?
Oh, I'm sorry.
Yes, so am I.
He's here.
Thea,
He's in here.
Thea, how is the performance going?
They are in great form tonight.
Enjoying it.
Can't you hear them? And many distinguished guests, too.
Really?
Come and see for yourself. It will soon be the interval.
Comrade Virani, are you coming?
Yes, of course.
And you, Miller?
I'll join you later. I have a call to make.
Oh, you are welcome.
Thank you.
Mr. Miller, they're coming back.
You're still here, Miller?
I was trying to think of suitable excuses to make the television producer.
You should have told him the truth, Miller.
Yes, you know, I never thought of that. Well, I think I'll get a drink.
Close the door.
What are you going to do?
Request the ambassador to send over a car and some men. They can wait outside for him. Good.
If you like, I'll keep an eye on him till I get here.
Yes, do that.
Jess, you look fabulous.
Yes, sir?
Whiskey, please.
Yes, sir.
Excuse me.
Shillings, sir, please.
Thank you.
Thank you.
I wonder if you'd mind passing the soda. Certainly. Get him out of here quickly. Comrade Varane, can I buy you a drink?
Oh, thank you.
What'll it be, vodka?
No sherry, please. Very dry.
Dry sherry, please. Yes, sir. Looking for someone?
Oh, no. No one in particular.
Just looking.
Yes.
Thank you. Do здоровья.
Cheers.
I managed to get hold of this last night, sir. Does it qualify as tangible evidence? It's one of Comrade Varane's scripts.
We thought you'd like to have the small car Bear. It was Ika's favorite. You remember buying it, of course. Where'd you get this?
In a box in Kobelik's desk. He left his keys lying around.
Well, I'll let Ruddy see. This should prove to him that we're right.
Can I ask a favor, sir?
What?
I was caught taking that.
Caught who by?
By whom?
Do you buy who?
The dancer, Linka.
The one who asked you to help her?
That's the one.
Well, what happened?
Well, I got my fingers in the box. I looked up, and there she was watching me.
And?
She said, "Be quick, Mr. Miller. They're coming back."
Lucky for you, it was her.
That was damn careless of you, Miller.
It was the only chance I had of getting the evidence, sir.
Well, thank goodness it was that girl who saw you and no one else.
You don't mean to say you're both prepared to admit you were wrong about her?
Well, she seems to have kept quiet about it.
So far.
Look, can I take a chance on her, sir?
You mean you want to help her?
Yes.
All right, but not through the usual channels. You're on your own. It's got to be the publicity man helping the dancer. Is that clear?
Right, sir.
And don't forget, Radev comes first. They've missed him once. They'll try again.
I had little chance to talk to Linka. Whenever I saw her, she was either in rehearsal or with Comrade Varane, who never let her get too far away. Then on the Saturday morning, Thayer dropped a bombshell by announcing that the ambassador had decided to throw a farewell party on stage after the final performance.
It's a good audience.
They're good dancers.
I saw you congratulating Linka.
She deserved it. I'm going to the office. You coming?
Yes.
Ah, there you are, comrade. You are to report to the embassy after this performance. A car is being sent for you.
But I need her at the party.
So does the embassy. I will act as an interpreter for you, Miller.
Thank you.
happened?
Radif has walked into the trap.
Why do you look so surprised? We told you he would.
He has accepted an invitation to the reception.
Then why am I going to the embassy?
To greet him.
But he's going to Mrs. Markham Foster's.
Is he?
Why have I been chosen to greet him, as you put it?
As a reward, comrade. The ambassador feels that your efforts are largely responsible for our success.
So, you are to be in at the kill. And by the way, comrade, when you go, take Linka with you.
Linka?
Yes. I want her out of the way, even if she is from the security police.
Hello, Porridge. Look, I can't talk now, but there's something going on this afternoon. Tell the chief to check with Radif.
Linka?
Yes, Comrade Veroni.
You are to come with me to the embassy after the performance.
To the embassy, but I thought we were going
Don't
to...
argue. We're going to the embassy.
Yes, Comrade Veroni.
Colonel Laszlo ready?
That's right.
I'm from Mrs. Markham Foster, sir.
Good. I'm ready.
I'm sorry to keep you waiting like this, Colonel. But we've had an outbreak of robbery with assault lately, and my super's getting more than a little impatient. He wants some arrests.
And I had rather an important meeting.
Yes, sir, I know. You've told me that already, and I'm sorry to have made you miss it, but you do understand that we have to ascertain all the facts. After all, you were robbed. Come in.
Here's the chauffeur's statement, sir.
You signed it?
Yes, sir.
How's the colonel's coming along?
Be a few minutes yet, I'm afraid.
Well, quick as you can, please, Sergeant.
Very good, sir.
Thank the chauffeur for me and tell him he can go home.
But what about...
Well, there's no point keeping him here now. We'll take you home. Or wherever you want to go.
Home will do, Inspector. Thank you.
Thank you, Sergeant. No, it's a pity you couldn't identify both those men.
I only saw the man who attacked the chauffeur. The other one was on me before I had time to look at him.
But that is definitely the man who attacked the chauffeur.
For the 10th time, Inspector, yes.
Well, we do have to make absolutely certain, Colonel. False arrest can be very embarrassing for him.
Yes, that's the man, Inspector.
Well, I do apologize for all these delays. I'll hurry them along. At last. Now, if you'll just read that through.
Yes.
And sign it here.
No, I put my own.
Don't forget to initial the other page. Just 2 more, please. Thank you, Colonel. Now, we'll see you home.
Oh, allow me. Thank you.
Thanks. Sergeant.
Oh, after you, sir.
Thank you.
File those, please. I'll see the Colonel home.
Yes, sir.
And, Sergeant, get that photograph out of that book, put it in a confidential envelope, and get it back to Mr. Stark.
Good evening, Laszlo.
How the devil did you get in here?
With a key. I hope you don't mind.
Of course not.
I've got something of yours.
My wallet. Have the men been caught?
Well, not caught exactly.
Oh. It was all arranged, wasn't it? All arranged. Set up deliberately to stop me going from that party.
Yes, I'm afraid it was.
I thought you were a friend of mine.
So did I. Why didn't you tell me about that invitation?
You would have stopped me going.
Oh, thank goodness we did. It was a trap, Laszlo. Why didn't you see that?
Oh, perhaps I did, but I was desperate. Look, this came in the same post. The morning I received the invitation. Do you recognize that blonde?
Yes, she's one of the dancers. What's his arrow pointed to the girl beside her? Who's she?
That's what I wanted to find out.
And you were going to the party just to ask the blonde girl that?
I thought it could be Nicola.
That's what they wanted you to think.
I know. You warned me about the big lie, and yet when it came, I believed it.
You were carefully preconditioned for it. And making you do the work, letting you identify the blonde girl was clever. You recognized her off your own bat. That was their come on, the giveaway, the bit of truth for free. But the girl beside her was the lie they were selling you. Now, have a look at this. Miller found it in a little black box that belongs to the manager of the dancers. It's the script of your memory lane.
What a damned fool. I should get away from here until they've left the country.
You can stay with me if you like.
You should have asked me last week. Saved yourself a lot of trouble.
I wouldn't. I know you. You wouldn't have come.
Perhaps you're right. How did you know I was going to that party?
It's my job.
Excuse me, Dad. Oh, good evening, Miss Carter.
Home safe and sound, Colonel.
I'm glad to be here. Please do come in. He's in there.
Thank you. Well, this came for you, sir, from the impresario.
Oh?
I thought I'd bring it in case you didn't have time to get back to the office.
An invitation for tonight's farewell party of the Basra State Dancers. Well, do you want to come along?
No, thank you.
Well, I think I'll go. Take another look at them.
Miss Carter, sit down, please.
Thank you.
Would you like a drink?
Yes, please. I'd like a scotch.
Good. Jeffrey, why did you make it all look like a robbery?
I want to keep them guessing. And after that little bit of subterfuge, they still don't know whether we're onto them or not.
Oh, scotch.
Thank you. Cheers.
Steady on, Carter.
There was nothing I could do, Excellency. So when I'd signed the statement, I left.
You should have waited for Radif.
Well, the inspector said he'd drive him home. To have argued would have made them suspicious.
You said nothing of your connection with us.
Oh, no, Excellency. I said I was a private chauffeur, hired by Mrs. Marquin Forster for the afternoon and evening.
All right, you may go. Yes?
The minister is on the line for you, sir.
Put him through. Ostroy. Oh, good evening, Minister. How nice of you. No, sir. No, unfortunately, we were not able to take him. Yes, I know there are only 24 hours left. Yes. Yes, of course. Why did those thugs have to pick on Radif of all people? We had him in the palm of our hand. Now he's gone. How can we take him now? He won't come anywhere near the theater again, so there is no point in inviting him to the party.
I agree.
We won't be forgiven for this, comrade. Our instructions were to take Radif. We have failed.
I think I know how to get him.
You? How?
Yes. Let me go and talk to him.
What?
I mean it. I think I can persuade him to come back here with me.
The idea is absurd. Where will he see you?
At his flat.
And who would go with you?
No one.
You'd never succeed.
If our futures are at stake, let me at least try. I'll telephone him and ask if he'll see me.
What will you say?
Don't worry, Excellency. I know the right words. I've been saying them all week.
Shall I answer it, or will you get it?
You take it.
Hello.
I was sorry I didn't see you at the party this afternoon. I had some news for you about a friend of ours. A very dear friend. So I was wondering if I might come and see you tonight.
Yes, I wish you would. I'd like to talk to you.
Good. I'll be there in about an hour then.
Very well, miss. What's your name? She's hung up.
Good. This is our chance to make the Basra Embassy a most uncomfortable place. Carter, get hold of Miller and tell him to come here immediately.
Right. I should be at his flat by 9. I'll try to get him back here before the performance ends. If I don't, you go to the theater and I'll contact you there.
I should not let you do this. It's far too dangerous for all of us.
We must gamble now or we'll lose our necks.
Yes, I suppose you're right.
Oh, the performance. I'd forgotten Linka. She's sitting outside.
Send her over to the theater by car.
No, don't bother, Excellency. I'll take a taxi to Radiv's flat. I'll drop her off on the way.
A taxi?
Yes, the embassy cars are always so conspicuous.
As you wish, comrade. But don't fail me.
I won't. Goodbye, sir.
Good luck.
Come in, it's not locked. Welcome, comrade. I've been waiting for you.
Miller, where is he?
Somewhere where people like you can't get hold of him. Why don't you make yourself at home?
Who are you?
I'm the publicity man from the front office, comrade. Who are you?
His daughter.
What?
I'm Nicola Radiv.
Ah, come off it, darling. Don't make me laugh. You've been working too hard on those little scripts you've been reading over the telephone.
No, I'm telling you the truth.
What kind of a fool do you take me for? Thanks to those little telephone calls, Radif hasn't been exactly delirious with joy.
I had to make them. Fair ordered me to. I had no choice.
And this afternoon's little trap, what about that?
I knew nothing about that. You were in the office. You were there when Fair told me to go to the embassy.
And you dashed straight over there for a touching reunion with your father.
That's not true. I tried to warn him.
Hmm. And what did you do this time? Write a letter?
No, I telephoned after you left the theater. But there was no reply. He'd already gone. You've got to believe me. I swear I'm telling the truth. Oh, I can prove it. This photograph. It was taken 12 years ago. We were on holiday. It was the one my father always carried in his wallet.
And what card did that speech come from?
Oh, my God, why can't you believe me?
Not without character references, comrade. Who can you give? Linka?
I had to treat her that way. I was afraid of her. She might have been from our security police. That's why I had to report her in case it was a trap for me. You stayed away from her at first. You were afraid, too.
All right, comrade. That much at least makes sense. Where's Linka now?
I don't know. She's gone.
What do you mean, gone?
On the way here, I had her in a taxi with me. I was supposed to drop her off at the theater. I didn't. I stopped on a corner and told her to run and hide somewhere.
She's free?
Yes.
Why didn't you bring her here? She couldn't harm you?
I don't trust her.
You don't trust her, yet you still helped her.
I've seen this lesson learned too often. You trust and you're lost.
So you put her out of your taxi somewhere in London?
Yes.
Oh, hello. Miller here, publicity. I'd like to speak to Mr. Kobelik,
No.
please.
Kobelik here.
Oh, hello, Mr. Kobelik. There's a rumor floating around town that one of your dancers is missing. Is that true?
No, of course not.
You mean they're all on stage?
No, Linker is at the embassy.
At the embassy, are you certain?
Yes.
Right, thank you, Mr. Kobelik. I'll scotch that rumor. You heard that?
Yes.
On your way, comrade.
Where are you taking me?
Back to your friends. Up.
What's this fascinating thing, Mr. Spock?
Stop.
It's a control panel for flying sets and back claws. It also controls the lighting.
Flying sets and back claws? What on earth's that?
Well, to fly a set, Mrs. Markman Foster, is the technical term used for raising a set from the stage, up there, out of sight.
How intriguing. And those little buttons do all that?
Yes. And that one's the master switch. Touch that and all the lights go out.
Oh, marvellous for party games. I mean, wouldn't it be the most wonderful fun?
Yeah. The notice says, please do not touch.
Oh, I wouldn't dream of it, Mr. Spock.
There is no doubt in my mind that the visit of our state dancers has bridged the cultural gap between our two countries.
Is it true, sir, that one of your dancers has disappeared?
Of course not. They are all here.
May we count them?
Excuse me, please. Excellency, you are wanted on the telephone.
Very well. Ladies, gentlemen. Tell me, what is all this nonsense about one of our dancers disappearing?
They are referring to Linka at the embassy.
Linka at the embassy? But she came back here over an hour ago in a taxi. Comrade Virani brought her.
No, Excellency. She never came back here.
I do not understand, Fair. I was told definitely. You must be mistaken, Fair. She came back here with Comrade Virani.
Lovely. Did Linka return from the embassy?
No, not yet.
Ambassador.
I have a top priority cable from the capital, sir.
Read it.
It was coded, sir.
Read it.
Yes, Excellency. Most imperative, you place the official interpreter of the dancers under maximum security. Her name is not Ilsa Virani. It is Nicola Radiv.
Nicola Radiv? And I sent her to his flat. To her father's flat by herself. Nicola Radiv.
I found her wandering around London, so I brought her back.
Nicola Radiv.
Sorry.
Don't let her out.
They won't dare touch us if we stay in the middle of the guest.
We've got to get out of here quickly.
Right. Use the photographer's lights when it happens.
What, sir?
Postman's knock with Mrs. Markman Foster. Ah, Mrs. Markman Foster.
Oh, there you are again, Mr. Spock.
I think it might be rather amusing to play your little game now.
My little game?
Yes. The lights.
Oh, yes, marvellous. When I was a girl, we always had wonderful surprises. I wonder what will happen here.
I wonder.
This one?
Yes.
Now?
Now! I just believe you've met Mrs. Markman Foster. Mr. Fair, company. Sorry. Trouble? Karate.
What do you mean?
That's what I mean.
What's the matter, Mr. Miller? Frightened?
You see, I couldn't understand myself why I was so intrigued by the voice on the telephone, but now I know it. It was yours. You made the memories live for me.
They live for me too, Papa. I couldn't help it. Oh, thank you. As I read them to you, I remembered as well.
And we were convinced you were dead.
I was lucky. We were caught near the border. I don't remember much about the shooting. Afterwards, a farm couple took me in and cared for me. They knew who I was, but they kept it a secret until about a year ago, when they got in touch with some people who still remembered Papa.
And the escape plan took a year to set up.
Yes, it was agony every day, wondering if we'd get caught.
But you succeeded.
And I nearly ruined it. You're going to ruin that. It's sherry. Oh, the answer to the telephone.
Yes.
Hello? Yes? You have? Where?
Right, good. Thanks. Bye.
They found Linka.
Is she all right?
Yes, she was sitting in a cinema, refused to budge till after midnight when she knew they'd be on their way to the airport. I've been most rude to your daughter, sir. I hope you'll allow me to make it up to her.
That's surely up to her.
Well, I was a bit hard on Mrs. Markman Forster. Do you think I ought to make it up to her?
Well, that's up to you. Sir.